All right. Well, welcome everyone. I have 9 people connected right now, and I'll see if anyone else joins. I'll try my best to accept them as we go. But it's really nice to be able to not see you, but be with you for the next hour. So, for those of you that are new to yoga, or maybe you haven't done it in a while, just a reminder that we're going to move with breath. And the yoga practice is really about being mindful about our bodies. And so, if at any point you need to stop, or it's anything is too much, or any feelings come up, because we're going to be moving some of the tension areas around the neck and the shoulders, especially at the beginning, just feel free to listen to your body, know where you're at, and be able to stop at any point. Take it easy. Um, Again, tune into yourself, see where you're at today. If you want to take it as a relaxing practice, don't push it too much. If you want to sweat it out and push yourself, then go there, definitely. But being mindful of where we're at, and also mindful of the times that we're going through. Everything might be a bit more intense than normal, so just be aware of that. We're going to start tonight on our backs. So find a comfortable place to lay down on our backs. Hopefully you can hear me and see me throughout. You can bring the soles of your feet onto the mat and let your knees come together. Or you can bring the soles of your feet together and then down, opening the knees. Whatever posture is comfortable here for you is fine. I want us to start bringing our hands over top of our head and kind of stretching a little bit. Just find a stretch here through your sides and reaching with your fingers. And then when you're done, bring both hands onto your chest or your belly, anywhere on the top of your front body so you can feel your breath. And then if you're comfortable here, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, choose a spot in the ceiling that you can focus your gaze for a little bit. And we're going to take a couple minutes to just settle into the practice, settle into the bodies, focusing on our breathing here and seeing how the breathing moves our body, trying to lift the chest and also the belly. Just tuning into our bodies. There's a lot going on these days, so just trying to let it all go. Let's take a deep inhale and a big exhale through our mouths. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Trying to forget everything that happened throughout the day. And also letting go of what's coming next. We'll take this opportunity to thank ourselves as well for making room for practicing, for being here. Just noticing the breathing. Throughout the practice, we're going to try to breathe through our nose as much as we can. And we try very slowly to inhale completely and then exhale completely with every breath. Trying to make the inhales and the exhales the same length. Full breathing in, full exhales. You can keep your eyes closed. We're going to extend the left leg out straight. And then bringing the right knee in. We're going to use our hands to bring that knee closer to our chest. Both toes, all of the toes are pointing up. Our ankles are engaged. And we're just with every breath trying to bring that knee in closer. At the same time, trying to keep the straight leg on the floor as much as we can. And then using our right hand on our right knee, we're going to open that knee wide while we place the left hand on the left hip, making an effort to push down on that hip as we open the knee to the side. We're warming up the hips. So take it easy again. See where you're at and stop where you feel like you need to stop. Deep breathing in and out. Relaxing. The breathing will make us also relax the mind. Bringing that knee close again. We'll bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. So we're crossing the legs like this. And then we're going to bring our hands behind the left leg, pushing it towards us. Both ankles are active here. The toes are pointing up. We're looking for some stretch in the outside of this right hip. We shouldn't be feeling anything, any discomfort on the knee at all. If you do, you can release some pressure. And we're trying to bring also some resistance with the leg. So we're pushing with the hands onto the leg and also with the leg onto the hands. Deep breathing here. Now the left foot is going to go onto the mat without the right leg moving at all. And then we're going to drop to the left side. So the toes or the feet are on the ground. The right foot is on the ground. We're moving into a twist, so extending your arms wide and then looking towards your right side. If there's any other twist that works fine for you or that works better, feel free to move into that as well. We're looking for twisting the spine, waking up the body slowly. Very nice. From here, we'll come up and we're going to switch sides. So extending the right leg up or in front of us and then bringing that left knee onto the chest. Both ankles are active. Trying to extend the right leg as much as we can. And then with every breath, trying to bring that knee a bit closer to the chest. Deep breathing here. Left hand to the left knee. We're going to open that knee wide with the right hand, placing it on the front of the right hip, pushing down so both sit bones stay on the mat as we bring that knee wide. Deep breathing. Planting the right foot, we'll bring the left ankle onto the right knee. And then we're going to bring our fingers or our arms around the leg and push towards our chest. Both ankles are active. Again, bringing some resistance here on the leg, pushing onto the hands as well. Trying to relax the shoulders. Breathing deeply. Planting the right foot onto the mat. We'll bring the left one over for a twist, extending the arms wide, looking towards the left side. Again, if there's any other twist that works for us here, we can do that too. Breathing. From here, bringing both knees into the chest. We'll find our way to seated. And we're going to do some seated cat and cows. Both hands on the knees. As we inhale, we're going to lift the chest up, bringing the head back. And then exhaling, rounding your back like a cat. We'll do that a bunch of times. So inhaling, lifting the chest up. As you exhale, rounding the spine, warming up the spine. Inhaling up. Exhale, rounding. One last time, inhale. Exhale. Coming through a neutral position, we're going to work a little bit with the neck. Again, stop at any time if it's too intense. We're going to start by moving the head towards the right side. And then from here, we're going to start rotating very slowly backwards until we're looking up at the ceiling. If we've been a lot on our phones today, this would feel probably quite stiff. So stay wherever you feel like you need a little bit more time. We're going to keep rotating the head towards the left side. And then tucking the chin, looking down. And then do another loop on your own on the same direction, just stopping wherever you feel like there's something that needs to be released. Your favorite spot. Stay with it. And then once you're done with that side, we'll switch to the other side. We'll do a couple loops, very slowly, very mindfully, stopping where you need to stop. Deep breathing. Very nice. Coming through center. We're going to shrug our shoulders up as close to the ears as we can. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the shoulders back and down, lifting the chest. We'll do that 2 or 3 times. Inhale, shrugging your shoulders. And as you exhale, shoulders back and down. Do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. We're going to interlock our fingers behind us and then bring in both hands to the right side, to the right hip. We're going to move the head towards that same side, looking for a stretch on the left side of the neck for this one. And here again, you can bring some movement. Maybe you want to look up a little bit, finding that spot that is stuck, that needs some love, and just stay with it. Maybe you look down a little bit, tuck in your chin. And then moving the head through neutral. We'll switch sides. So bringing both hands to the left hip and then starting to move the head towards that side. Again, bring in some mindful movement. Maybe forward a little bit or backwards. Whatever works. Very nice. From here, we're going to come into hands and knees. Taking a second here to make sure that your knees are underneath your hips and your hands are underneath your shoulders. I'm finding the camera here. And then we're going to bring the right hand under, bringing the shoulder all the way to the mat, and then cheek onto the mat. And then with the left hand, we're going to bring our fingertips onto the ground, and we're going to push so the shoulder lifts a little bit. You see how we don't want to do this? We want to lift that shoulder up. Breathing here. Very nice. Planting the hand. We're going to switch sides. So we're going to thread the left or the right arm underneath. Sorry, did we just do that? Other side. Bringing that arm underneath, shoulder all the way to the mat, cheek to the mat, and then bringing your fingertips in front of your face, lifting that shoulder up. Breathing here. Coming back up through both hands and knees. We're going to bring the hands a little bit forward. And we're going to drop the chest down, forehead onto the mat. For puppy pose or melting heart pose. Lifting up the head. We're going to come into child's pose. So bringing the knees wide. And then we're going to bring the hips back onto our heels. And then first option here to bring your hands stack on top of each other. Dropping your forehead onto the hands. Second option, bringing both hands in front of you and then dropping the forehead down. From here, we're going to come up. And option one is to stay up here if you're comfortable there. Otherwise, bringing both hands into cactus pose. And then eventually, maybe you start looking up at the ceiling, bringing a little bit of a back bend here. Be mindful of your back, always engage your belly, and stop or stay wherever you're comfortable. There's different options. Very nice. Both hands coming back into inside that leg. We'll move into downward facing dog from here. So bringing both hands and both feet onto the mat. The gaze is towards our belly. We can pump our feet here a little bit because it's our first down dog of the night. Again, it's a great option here to bend your knees so you can have a straight back if your heels aren't touching the mat. And then make sure that all your knuckles are pushing away from the mat for this one. At any point through the practice, if you need a break from here, you can lower your knees down and move into child's pose for a break, and then come back into downward facing dog when you're ready. From here, we're going to lift the left leg up, and we're going to bring it outside of both hands. To do the other side, that knee goes down, the heel is still up. Bringing those hips forward here. Again, option to face your fingers towards your body here to stretch your wrists. Otherwise, hands, fingers forward. Really pushing, really making sure that you're bringing your weight forward. Shouldn't feel like a strain, but it should be like something is going on. It's getting warm in your hips right now. Deep breathing here. From here, we're going to come up. First option to stay up here. If you feel comfortable here, the arms come into cactus pose, 90-degree angle. And then maybe you start looking up at the ceiling, bringing a little bit of a back bend, always making sure you're engaging your belly here. You should start to feel pretty intense in the front part of the body, the front part of the leg. Very nice. As you exhale, bringing both hands down, moving into a downward facing dog one more time. If this is your first one and you just joined, make sure you warm up a little bit, pumping your feet. Gaze is to your belly. Bending the knees here is a great option. Again, if you need a break, lower into child's pose. And come back when you're ready. From here, we're going to walk our feet towards our hands for a forward fold. So here we want the feet kind of hip distance apart, micro bend in the knees, and then coming forward, releasing the neck, maybe saying yes and no a couple times to make sure that neck is relaxed. And then option here to bring your hands in front of you on the mat or bring them to opposite elbows here. Deep breathing. Here we can start bringing our weight very mindfully towards our toes to feel a bit of a deeper stretch in the back. And then placing the hands down on the mat if they're not there. We're going to tiptoe our feet a little bit wider. And we're going to start lowering the hips down. And first option would be stay up here. Maybe the elbows come to the knees. Maybe your hips come all the way down. Even if your heels are lifted, you can place something under your heels, or you can stay here, wherever it works for you. If you're down all the way, then bringing your hands into prayer, pushing with your elbows out of your knees. Relaxing the shoulders down and lifting your head, the crown of the head reaching up. And then for this one, bringing the weight of your body very mindfully towards your heels to get a bit of a deeper release in the lower back. Very nice. From here, placing the hands in front of you, tippy toe your feet again, hip distance apart for a forward fold, releasing the neck, bending the knees here. And then very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we're going to come up to standing. For Samastitihi. Inhaling, lifting the arms together. We're going to interlace our fingers and pointing with our index fingers up. As you exhale, reaching towards the one side. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, reaching towards the other side. Inhaling, reaching up. As you exhale, folding forward, releasing the neck, hands to the mat. Inhale, lifting the head and chest up. As you exhale, coming into a plank. From here, with control, we're going to lower the knees first, and then tugging the elbows in. We're going to come all the way to the floor. Inhaling, lifting the head and chest up. And then as you exhale, tucking the toes under, moving into a downward facing dog. For 5 breaths. Again, here, all the knuckles pressing down. Gaze towards your belly. Bending the knees if you have to get a straight back. On your next inhale, look in between your hands and walk or jump towards the front of the mat. For a forward fold as you exhale, releasing the neck. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Palms together, gaze through your thumbs. Exhale, Samastitihi. We'll do that one more time. Inhaling, lifting up, interlocking the fingers, index up. As you exhale, reaching towards the one side. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhale towards the other side. Inhaling up. As you exhale, folding forward, hands to the mat, bending your knees. Inhale, lifting the head and chest up. As you exhale, moving into a plank. With control, lowering the hips. With control, lowering all the way down. Inhaling, lifting the head and chest. And then exhaling, moving into a downward facing dog. Breathing here. 5 breaths. On your next inhale, looking between your hands and walk or jump towards the front of the mat. Or a forward fold as you exhale. Inhaling, coming all the way up, palms together, gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, Samastitihi. We'll do that one more time. Inhaling, arms up, interlocking your fingers, index up. Exhale to the one side. Inhaling up. Reaching up as you exhale, other side. Inhaling up. As you exhale, folding forward, bending your knees, hands to the mat, releasing the neck. Inhaling, head and chest up. As you exhale, moving into a plank. And then with control, lowering the knees, lowering the chest all the way down. As you inhale, lifting the head and chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. One last time. 5 breaths. Breathe in deeply here. Very nice. On your next inhale, look in between your hands. We're going to walk or jump towards the front of the mat for a forward fold as we exhale. Inhale, coming all the way up, palms together, gaze through your thumbs. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhaling, we're going to bring the arms right in front of us, palms facing down. Exhaling down. Inhale, lifting the arms up all the way up, palms facing forward. As we exhale, we'll bring them all the way down. Inhaling, bringing them up and back a little bit, looking up at the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to lower hips down for chair pose. So our feet are a little bit hip distance apart, our hips are down, arms straight. From here, we're going to bring our hands into prayer and twist to the one side. You can choose which side. With control, we're going to bring the leg that's not touching the elbow back into a long lunge. That heel is up. Breathing here. And then on our next inhale, bringing the chest up, interlacing your fingers behind your head, and then looking up at the ceiling. The back heel is still up. Opening the shoulders here. Very nice. With control, our next inhale, we're going to come back to chair pose, feet together, arms straight. And then bringing the hands into prayer, we'll do the other side. Bring it into a twist, gazing over your shoulder. And then with control, the other leg that's not touching the elbow will come back. Heel is up. Breathing here, gazing towards the back. Next, inhale, lifting the chest up, interlacing your fingers behind your head, and then looking up at the ceiling. Heels still up. And then here, both hands come down, moving into a downward facing dog from here. Breathing deeply here. Couple more breaths. Take a break if you need to. From here, looking between your hands, we're going to walk or jump towards the front for a forward fold as you exhale. Inhaling, coming all the way up, dropping the hips down for chair pose. And then Samastitihi. Very nice. We'll do that one more time. Inhaling, lifting the arms in front of you. Exhale down. Inhaling, reaching them up. Exhale down. Inhale up and back a little bit, looking up. As you exhale, lowering your hips here for chair pose. Hands into prayer, twisting to the one side. With control, bringing the opposite leg back, heel is up. In your next inhale, bringing the chest up, interlacing your fingers behind your head, looking up. Breathing here. Next inhale, feet together, arms up for chair pose. Hands into prayer, we'll switch to the other side, twisting. Bringing that opposite leg back, heel is up. Breathing here, and your next inhale coming up, hands behind the head, look up. From here, both hands come down, moving into a downward facing dog. Very nice. Looking in between your hands, we're going to walk or jump towards the front. Forward fold as you exhale. Inhaling, arms up, hips down. Exhale and Samastitihi. Very nice. We'll move into our standing pose. So we're going to start with eagle pose. I'm going to start transferring the weight towards our left leg here. And we're going to cross the right leg up and over. And it could be that the foot is planted outside of our other foot if we're new to the pose. Otherwise, moving into your version of eagle pose. We're going to lift the right arm over top the left and then palms together, lifting the elbows up for eagle arms as well. Lifting the elbows, we should be feeling the stretch in between your shoulder blades. Now we're going to fold forward with the arms in eagle pose like that. And then with control here, let me move forward a bit. We're going to undo the crossing of the legs and then bringing that leg back behind us with square hips. Very slowly with control, we're going to lower that back leg, lowering the ball of the foot. And then we're going to bring the arms behind our head, looking up. The heel is up. We're opening the chest up to the ceiling. Breathing here. On your next exhale and doing the arms will come to the front of the mat. We'll start transferring our weight to the right foot this time. Crossing over and placing the foot right outside the other foot if that's our option. We're moving into our option of eagle. And then we'll bring the left arm over top the right, bringing them into prayer. Twisting them over, prayer. And then we're going to start folding forward. Here it's a good idea to have a gazing point that doesn't move for balance. With control, we're going to undo that top leg and bring it back behind us, straight, if we can. And then very slowly with control, we're going to lower that ball of the foot. The heel is up and doing the arms, bringing them behind your head, looking up, opening the chest, opening the elbows, breathing here. Very nice. In your next inhale, bringing everything together to the front of the mat. We'll make a wide stance now, as wide as you feel comfortable with. And then we're going to bring our hands to our ankles here. So bring them all the way to your ankles and then releasing your neck down. If you don't feel very stable here, you can bring both hands in front of you for more stability. Otherwise, stay on your ankles for a little bit. We'll breathe here, engaging your belly. Your legs are active. They're pushing away from the mat. Releasing the neck. Placing the left hand in front of you if it's not there yet. Bringing the right hand up for a bit of a twist, gazing towards the right arm. As you exhale, bringing both hands down. We'll switch sides as you inhale, left arm up. Breathing here. As you exhale, both hands down. And now from here with the hands down, we're going to start bending our knees a little bit. Maybe you need to bring your feet a little bit closer. Your toes are facing the same direction as your knees. And then I want you to start lifting your chest here. First option would be to have your hands on the knees. Maybe you have the elbows on the knees. And you're pushing away from your knees as well as from your knees into your arms. There's some resistance here. Lower your hips even a little bit more. Let's challenge ourselves for this one. You can bring some movement to side, really lowering your hips down. Very nice. From here, bringing your hands in front of you, we'll move into downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up. We're going to bring it through for pigeon. So right knee onto the right wrist. Lowering the hips, bringing that back knee a little bit backwards. We're trying to get some sort of stretch on the outside of the right hip. No pain or discomfort should come from the knee. And then finding your happy place here. If you want to lower your chest a little bit forward, or you want to go all the way, forehead to the mat. Whatever you choose to do tonight is the right thing to do. Keep breathing here. If your chest is down, we'll come up using our hands to help our chest come up. And then with both hands in front of us, we're going to tuck our toes and come into a downward facing dog from here. Pump your feet a little bit. And when you're ready, lifting your left leg up. We're going to bring it forward for pigeon. So left knee to the left wrist. Bringing that back knee a little bit backwards. And then again, finding your stretch in the outside of your other hip. No discomfort on your knee, and finding your version of pigeon on the other side. Maybe lowering all the way, maybe forehead on your hands. Deep breathing here. You're using your hands to lift your chest up. We'll move into a downward facing dog from here, lifting your hips up. And then moving forward into a plank, we're going to slowly lower the knees. And then with the elbows tucked in, we're going to lower all the way to our bellies. And from here, option number one would be to stack your hands one on top of the other and lower your forehead onto the mat for a bit of a back bend. Second option would be to bring your forearms in front of you, lifting the chest up for Sphinx. Wherever you're at today, looking for that back bend. You can bring some movement side to side. Now leaving the left arm where it is, or more center, we're going to bring the right hand on top of that right foot. And we're going to bring it as close as we can to our butts. Stretching the quads here. It should be quite intense if you're me. Engaging your legs. Your legs are active on this one. Breathing here. Really pushing, putting some pressure, and then putting some resistance as well. Releasing that foot. We'll switch sides. Legs are active. Releasing that leg. It's that time of the day where if you want to bring some playfulness into your yoga practice, you might want to try this one. Otherwise, you can stay right here and wait for us. We'll bring our hands both onto our ankles, bring the knees together, and then start to lift both the chest and the legs up. We used to do this when we were kids, right? Keep breathing here and then releasing the pose. We'll do that one more time if you want to. Lifting the legs and the chest, trying to keep the knees as close together as you can. And breathing. And then releasing. Place both hands stacked and rest your forehead onto the mat. We're going to here roll onto our backs. For the final poses, bringing both feet close to your hips here, to your sit bones. Both hands beside you, palms down. We're going to lift the hips up. And then you're also pushing with your feet away from your mat for a back bend. If you don't feel like much effort and you have a blanket or a block close by, you might want to place it right underneath your hips so you can just sit on it. Otherwise, pushing those hips up. As you exhale, release. We'll bring the knees to the chest, roll them side to side. We'll do that one more time, placing both feet on your hips and then lifting the hips up, maybe interlocking your fingers underneath, bringing the shoulders a bit closer, lifting the hips up. Then as you exhale, releasing. Extending the left leg up, not up, but on the mat. We're going to lift the right leg as straight as we can. You can bring both hands behind that knee. This is legs up the wall on the one side. And then here we're going to play a little bit with our ankles. So we're going to push the heel up, like really reach with the heel up. Keep breathing here. The toes are pointing towards your face. Looking for a stretch in the back of your leg. And then we're going to point the toes up to the ceiling, looking for a stretch on your shins, the front of your foot. It's going to be very intense, so just be mindful. And then we're going to rotate the ankle a little bit to release it. We're going to switch sides. So left leg up the wall, the right leg is on the mat. First, we're going to point the toes towards our face, lifting the heel up. Feeling the stretch in the back of our leg. And then we're going to point the toes up, looking for a stretch on your shins, your ankle, top of your foot. Breathing here. And then bringing some rotation to the ankle. We're going to bring both legs up the wall. You can help with both hands behind the knees. We'll just have our feet flat as if we're standing on the ceiling here for a couple breaths. Deep breaths. And from here, grabbing the outside of your feet for happy baby. Pushing with your hands, your feet down. Here you can bring some mindful movement, relaxing the lower back. Nice massage. And then we're going to release the feet. We're going to move into our version of Shavasana or rest pose. You can bring your soles of the feet together like we did at the beginning and bring your knees together. You can bring your soles of the feet together, knees wide, or you can just relax your legs and let them go free. Open in your arms, palms facing up. We're going to take a big inhale through our nose, exhale through the mouth. Exhale with sound. We'll do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. You want to do it one more time, you're free to do that. Otherwise, you can close your eyes here, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the tongue, letting it fall from the top of our mouth, relaxing the eyeballs, letting go of the breathing, just normal breathing. And trying to tune into your body for this last couple minutes. A lot of our attention these days is outwards. And we also need some time to reconnect with what's going on inside. Just take a couple minutes to focus inside of your body and commit to stillness. Letting go of the thoughts of what comes next. If you find your mind wandering, just mindfully and lovingly bring it back to your breathing. You're starting to bring some awareness to your body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, the feet and the hands. Bring some movement slowly. We can bring our hands over top of our head and have a full body stretch from the tips of our fingers to our toes, really stretching every muscle. And then bringing our knees onto our chest. We can rock side to side, massaging the lower back one last time. Letting our knees drop to the left side of the body, letting the weight kind of fall to that side. And then using our hands to help ourselves up to seated. Namaste. It's my pleasure to be here tonight. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but you guys did amazing. We got everyone back. And so, good job. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Have a good night. Namaste.